Hello and welcome back again to LPR's Delivery. Today we'll be talking about this. What do we call this? Or even this? We use the same word to describe this situation, and it's a word that's very familiar to all of you, traffic. Since you are air traffic controllers, I figured we'd spend one full lesson just talking about this word. So first, let's define it. The word traffic can mean either vehicles along a road, or it can be the movement of airplanes, ships, etc. One thing to note is that the word traffic is uncountable. That makes for a common mistake in grammar and vocabulary for many people. For example, some people might say, "We're so busy today. There are many traffics." However, this is a mistake because, like we said, the word traffic is uncountable. So we can't say many. So what can we use grammatically if we want to quantify amounts of traffic? Well, it depends on if the sentence is positive, negative, or if it's a question. So let's look at some examples. First, for positive sentences. If we want to say a relatively small amount, we can say little. There is little traffic from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., which means almost in a negative way, like not enough or a very small amount. The next step would be a little. So please wait a moment. We have a little traffic coming, which means still a small amount, but more than little traffic. There's no negative connotation here. Next, we have some. We have some traffic coming from the south. Or a lot of. There is always a lot of traffic in December. Next, we'll look at negative sentences. Notice all of these sentences are negative. Don't, doesn't, isn't. So, when we have negative sentences, we can say things like any. I don't see any traffic on the radar. Notice that we can't say some. I don't see some traffic. Cannot. Also, much. By airport doesn't usually have much traffic. A lot of. There isn't a lot of traffic today. Next, we'll look at questions. Notice that all of these are questions, so we can use these words. Can some traffic be diverted to another airport? Is there any traffic arriving soon? Do we have much traffic scheduled today? Now, you should note that these are not the only words that you can use, and sometimes we use these words in different situations, but this could be a good guideline for you. Another thing about countable and uncountable is this one. The number of traffic in Asia is expected to double by 2030. This is also a mistake as well, because like we said, traffic is uncountable, so we can't use the word number. We have to use the word amount. The amount of traffic in Asia is expected to double by 2030. Remember that we use the word amount with uncountable nouns. For example, traffic, the amount of traffic, or equipment, the amount of equipment, or rain, or maintenance, or training. All of these ideas are uncountable. However, we do use number with countable plural nouns. So for example, controllers, the number of controllers, countable and plural. Or the number of flights, again. Also, this applies for aircraft. Remember that aircraft is a countable noun, and the plural just doesn't have an S. So 1 aircraft, 2 aircraft, 3 aircraft. So it's still countable and plural, so we say number of aircraft. The same is true for accidents and airlines as well. Next, we'll talk about vocabulary. One way to get a good score on your proficiency exam is to have a good control of collocation. Collocation means a familiar grouping of words, especially words that habitually appear together and thereby convey meaning by association. So that's a long definition. Let's look at examples. For example, we say strong tea or strong coffee. We don't say powerful tea or powerful coffee. Even though strong and powerful have very similar meanings, we collocate these words together. Similarly, we say tall tree. We don't say high tree. Or heavy rain. We don't say weighty rain. You get the idea. Now, how about collocations with the word traffic? First of all, heavy traffic or light traffic. So if we look at this picture, we can say, today there is a lot of traffic. And this picture, today there is little traffic. Now, for a better collocation, we could use the word heavy. Today there is heavy traffic or light traffic. Also, we have some phrasal verbs that we use with the word traffic. For example, hold up. Hold up traffic. For example, here. Excuse me, Mr. Lion, could you please move? You're holding up traffic. So here, to hold up basically means to block traffic so that traffic can't move. For another example, yes, cows or buffaloes. Runway incursions can hold up traffic. Notice also that this is a phrasal verb, so we're going to stress the second word. So hold up traffic. Another phrasal verb we use with traffic is slow down. Slow down traffic means to make traffic move slower, obviously. So, for example, red trucks. Excuse me, Mr. Red Truck Driver, could you please hurry? You're slowing down traffic. Or, in an aviation sense, we could say things like radar failure. Radar failure slows down traffic significantly. Also, we collocate the noun flow with traffic. So flow of traffic, or compound noun, traffic flow. For example, when someone gets a ticket for speeding from the police, they often make this excuse. I didn't know I was driving too fast. I was just going with the flow of traffic. So that means the same speed as everyone else. Or, in an aviation sense, we might say something about military exercises. Military exercises sometimes interrupt the traffic flow in Thai airspace. Because you have to reroute flights around military zones, that interrupts the flow of traffic. Now we'll talk about this one, traffic jam. This is a common mistake among speakers. Let's look at the definition of traffic jam. A traffic jam is a situation. Key thing to note, it's a situation in which a long line of vehicles on a road have stopped moving or are moving very slowly. Stuck in a traffic jam. So notice here, a traffic jam, a situation. So traffic jam is a countable noun. It's a single situation that happens. So for example here, we see there's been some accident, right? And traffic has stopped. This is a serious traffic situation that we call a traffic jam. So here's a common mistake. People will say, oh, today is traffic jam. We cannot say this because, like we said before, Traffic jam is countable, so we need to say a traffic jam. So we might say this instead. Today there was a traffic jam on Canal Road. I was stuck for over an hour. So we see that this is a more serious situation of traffic. Here's another example. In China, there was this situation in 2010 where a traffic jam lasted for more than 10 days. It stretched for more than 60 miles and caused the formation of a mini economy with vendors selling food and drinks at inflated prices. So people couldn't move in their car for 10 days. So this is a very serious traffic jam. So if you're stuck in this kind of traffic, you can be stuck in traffic like a boss. So now you know more than you ever thought you needed or wanted to know about the word traffic. So we'll see you next time for LPR's delivery. ขอบคุณครับ สวัสดีครับ